Hello and warmest of welcomes to the Celtic Forever podcast. And today, both John and myself, we're going to talk various things, including the Celtic Park atmosphere, Kasper Schmeichel, disallowed goals, Celtic's lack of goal scoring, Motherwell preview, competition, much more, John. We're going to go through the whole thing, so there's a lot to get through, John, so let's do this. And we'll start with the game last night, John. We'll start with Braga coming to Celtic Park. I know we're here to do the preview of the Motherwell game on Sunday, but to be honest with you, that's the furthest thing from my mind just now. With the way Celtic are playing just now, it's pretty concerning, to be perfectly honest with you, John. I just thought the first half was the worst I've saw at Celtic Park in years.
I don't know if it's the worst I've seen in years, but it possibly could be. I'm trying to remember other times where I thought that was dreadful. There's been quite a few occasions when I've said that, mind you. But in terms of European football against a team like Braga, I expected a hell of a lot better, I can say that.
It wasn't even the fact that it's European football, John, or who we were playing, where it was, in Scotland, Europe, anything like that. It's the fact that it's at Celtic Park, John, and we put in a performance like that in the first 45 minutes. Well, the first 10 minutes were okay, and then once we started giving the ball away, it was absolutely dreadful. We couldn't string a single pass together, to be honest with you. It was shockingly bad. Second half was a lot better, of course. We'll get into bits and bobs in this game, but we do want to try and get to the Motherwell game quite quickly. But let's run through some of the things then, John. And I want to jump straight away to this disallowed goal by Iheanacho, and it's an absolutely outstanding finish from Iheanacho. He's getting better and better, by the way. He knows where the net is, don't worry about that. And he gets his goal, John, against a very stubborn Braga defence, and it was a beautiful finish. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. 3 goals in 4 games for the big man, and the referee chops this one off, John, including VAR. He doesn't go over to the monitor to look at it. I don't see where the problem is with this goal, John. It's an absolutely perfectly, beautifully taken goal to equalise in the game. And we don't know, but this could have affected the result, John. Celtic could have went on to win this game, but an absolutely sickener from the referee in VAR.
Well, in layman's terms, it was a cast iron handball from VAR. Now, he's the guy, whoever it was, I can't remember his name on VAR, has deemed that a cast iron handball, so there's no need to go over and check it. So, look, I'm not going to blame the referee. It's not his fault. I suppose he could have come over and had a look for himself. I really don't know, but your man on VAR's responsible for that. He's deemed that a cast iron handball. There's no need to come over and have a look at it, and the refs went with that. So I don't know what's happened there, but I'm not going to vent my fury on how angry I actually am about that last night, because I'm trying to get that out of my system right now.
Yeah, same as we all are, John, but we're here to talk about it, so a lot of people want to hear what we've got to say about it, and it's not nice, let's be honest with you, because, okay, the VAR say it's a factual overturn, which means he doesn't have to go over to the monitor. Yeah, fair enough, John, but where does he get this factual overturn? Where he sees this handball. Where is this handball? He hits the ball with his face. There's no change in direction of the ball whatsoever. I know there's nothing we can do about it now. It's gone. The game's gone. We lose 2-0 in the end. We lose 2-0. But John, you sent me a message last night saying that possibly something to do with the banner the Green Brigade had up. Don't want to go into what it was or anything like that, but it's to do with UEFA anyway, John. But Maybe they've looked at that and it was before the game, before kick-off, and it's stuck in their minds, and that's partly the reason why the VAR have cut this one off. Anti-UEFA banners.
Right, well, that's my thinking. When I seen that goal getting chopped off, my first thought was to go to that banner and but like you says, I'm not going to get into detail what it says on the banner. That's for other people to discuss if they want. Definitely no me and you. But look, I'll just say it. Celtic were cheated at a perfectly good goal. If VAR have looked at that, now the whole world has seen that game. And the only ones that think that was a handball is a few idiotic Rangers fans, absolute clowns I've seen in comments. I have seen a few of them, trust me. I'm not saying all Rangers fans. I've seen a lot of Rangers fans saying, as a Rangers fan, that's a disgrace. I've seen that as well, so well done to the Rangers fans that see that for what it was. But other than VAR and a few idiots that's try to be funny, I suppose, nobody's seen that as a handball on this planet, apart from two idiots and your man on VAR. Now VAR's there to check these incidents. They've checked it and they've deemed it a handball. Now it's not a handball, so the only other answer is it's cheating. They've cheated Celtic at a goal. It's blatant corruption. And in my opinion, that game should be replayed.
Yeah, I think it should be replayed as well. And they're still not came up with any explanation for it, John. As we sit here on Friday evening, John, still no explanation. Unbelievable. And Big Joe Hart's reaction tells you everything you need to know. He's wanting the game to kick off so Celtic can attack for a second goal. And he's wondering what the delay is. He can't understand what the delay is before any replays are shown, and then the replays are shown, and then he can't believe what's actually happening. So Big Joe Hart, a great big guy, him, by the way. And by the way, John, your Emma Dodds, your Rangers supporting panel, Emma Dodds, Alan Hutton, etc., all your Rangers supporting panel on the TNT Sports all agreed it was a legitimate goal. So I don't know whether these couple of Rangers supporters were coming from, John, because I've not seen any, but sickening, John.
I have seen them, Xander, with a couple of idiots just try to be funny. They know themselves it's a perfectly good goal. Anybody that thinks that was a handball needs to go and watch another game, because the whole world has seen it. I've seen everywhere about this. This is cheating, Xander. It's cheating. It's plain and simple cheating by UEFA. They know that wasn't a handball and they've gave it as a handball. It's nowhere near his hand. Nowhere near it. And if you're officiating on VAR and you think that's a handball, you should be never in charge of refereeing a game again or in charge of VAR again, because that's cheating. That guy should never be in charge of VAR or refereeing another game in his life, because he's basically cheated Celtic out a goal, perfectly good goal.
Yeah, but that's sort of, John, I wanted the players to walk off the park. I mean, I know that's never ever going to happen, but that's how angry I was last night at that. It was absolutely disgusting, John, is the only way to describe that. Okay, let's get back to the game then. John, I'll be quick word on the game before we get to the Motherwell preview. I mean, Big Kasper Schmeichel started the rot, didn't he? He really did start the rot there with the 3 or 4 direct passes to Braga players, John. I've never saw Kasper do this. I don't know what the heck was going on here, John. He's taking the ball in his own box and passing it directly to Braga players, and then the flow of the game changes, John, once he's done that the 4th or 5th time, and eventually they get their goal. Again, even at the goal, John, I think Kasper's to blame there. I know Big Joe Hart on the commentary said that he thought it was a brilliant hit and a good strike and a good goal. But for me, the goalkeeper should be covering that, John, to be honest with you. He's flapped at it. He's went with his weaker hand, thinking he's going to save it. He should have went with his stronger hand, just tipped it over the bar, John. That's what should have happened. For me, it's a goalkeeping error.
Oh, it's, look, I really don't know, but I like Joe Hart says, and like you just says, I think Kasper could have went with his stronger hand for that. If he puts his other hand up, he's tipping it over the bar. It's as simple as that. But he decides to try and look fancy, put another hand up. Look, it was some finish. Fair play to the boy that scored the goal. It was a nice goal. Can't take that away from him. But Casper should be doing better. Now, Casper's a world-class keeper. We know that. Or at least he was a world-class keeper. But I've been saying it for weeks that Sinisalo should be our number one keeper. Every single podcast I've said it since the start of the season. Get Sinisalo in there as our number one keeper. I've said it in every single podcast. I've said that. And dare I say it, Casper, legend that he is now, in my eyes, starting to become a liability. I'm seeing this far too much with him. He's becoming a liability for me, Xander.
Yeah, it's a worry, John. It really is. He did pull off a couple of good saves as well last night, but it's too late at that point, John. They've already scored their goal to put them ahead. Just wanted to have a wee quick word on a couple of the players, John, as well. And by the way, I'm sorry if you can hear rain belting down in the background. I'm sitting in my car and it's absolutely teeming down in Glasgow, John. I know we've got a storm coming in over the weekend. Hope that doesn't affect the Motherwell game. Or maybe we should hope it does, to be honest, because maybe this international break's coming at a good time for us. But anyway, apologies for that if you can hear it. But I think the players, especially in the first half, after the first 10 minutes, if you know what I mean, this last 35 minutes of the first half, they looked lost to me, John. Kieran Tierney, it just looks like he looks nothing like the player that we had a few years ago at Celtic. Nothing like it, John. He wasn't taking on his man. He wasn't defending well. He couldn't pass. Then we had Nygren, John, who seems to have came off the boil a bit. I know he's no longer at the club. He's only played 7 or 8 games, John, but he's now beginning to look as though he's coming off the boil as well. Nygren started off brilliantly. He's not having any shots at goal. He's not having any assists over the last few games. And we're now talking about our fourth game, without scoring a goal this season, John. We're all into our 6th game in the league, a couple of games in Europe. It's not great.
No, rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Especially the last 2 games, Hibs and Braga. I think Celtic have been... I think they played well against Hibs without the killer touch. But I don't want to start getting on the players' backs, but Kieran Tierney was poor last night. I'm not going to deny that. He was poor. And there was one wee moment I thought he was connected with the skill that he had going by a player. So he has still got it in his locker to do that. But I think he done that once in the whole night, and that was it. He was invisible the whole game.
Yeah, the players, I'm going to get on their backs, John. If they're not performing and it's over a period of time, John, I'm going to get in their backs. I don't care, to be honest with you. These players are paid very handsomely to perform for Celtic Football Club, John, and now that's 4 games without scoring a single goal. And now we're beginning to concede goals as well. So not only are we not scoring goals, the defence is beginning to concede goals as well, John. I know it was a higher level last night in Europe against Braga, but I mean, come on. Goalkeeper blunder for one, the defensive blunder for the second one, John. It's this has to stop now.
It does. I think Celtic were okay for the first 20 minutes until Casper started passing the ball to Braga players and then shouting at the Celtic defenders as if it was their fault. You sent me a message last night because I texted you saying Casper started the rot, and he did. He absolutely 100% started the rot, passing it right to their players. I don't know how many times he did that. And I think Casper did start the rot. So I just don't want to solely blame one player, but he had a really poor game. He was so bad, it was unbelievable.
That first 45 minutes, and apart from maybe 10-15 at the start, but after that, they just totally dominated us, to be honest with you, John, and I've not seen it in a long time. Even Barcelona didn't dominate us like that. They just kept the ball for, as I say, the last 35 minutes of that first half. Second half was a lot better, of course, but we scored the goal, disallowed goal, and all that kind of stuff, John. But, you know, by then it's too late. They've already scored their goal. And I just thought it was very dire. The atmosphere in the stadium was pathetic. Absolutely quiet as a mouse, John. A half-empty stadium, quiet as a mouse. Fair play to the Green Brigade, who tried to make as much noise as they could. But the atmosphere was just non-existent last night.
It was fairly quiet last night, but you take a look around the stadium. I don't know how many fans were there, 40,000 or something like that, roughly. It's hard to judge in a big stadium like Celtic Park, but I would say there was about 40,000 there last night. Maybe that contributed. I really don't know. But I'm going to get back to the point I made about Casper starting the rot and what you says last night about him shouting at the defenders as if it's their fault. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's time for a change in the goalmouth. Well, I do know it's time for a change in the goalmouth. It's time for Sinisalo to step in. He's a better keeper right now. Casper's had his time as a number one goalkeeper. He was quality, absolute quality, world class. But for what I've seen the last few weeks with Casper, I've seen it a lot. And it's time for Sinisalo to step in. He's a top quality goalkeeper. It's time to get him in, Xander. He needs to start the games.
Yeah, of course he does. We'll see what happens on Sunday against Motherwell, John. But a few other players.
And he doesn't shout at the defenders either. He doesn't blame people for his mistakes. Look, Casper's had a lot of clean sheets this season, so we can't take that away from him. But when you see errors like that, it's time for a change. You can't make mistakes like that and expect to still be in the goals, Sander.
No, it was pretty bad from Casper. And he did, as I said as well, John, he did pull off a couple of good saves also, but that's by the by. These errors are what's leading to these teams coming to Celtic Park and having a right good go at Celtic, John. We can't afford to pass the ball directly, John, although it's mistakes, right? We understand everybody's got a mistake in them. But as I say, that was 3 or 4 times he did it in that 5-minute spell, and eventually they got their goal out of it. I mean, that boy that ran through and hit the shot from 30 odd yards, there's nobody near him. It's a ball passed right to him, and he hits the shot. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Anyway, John, a quick wee word in the second half. A lot better in the second half. Too little, too late, obviously. But if the goal scored for Iheanacho, we do understand that's a different story. Then we can maybe go on and at least get a draw out of the game. But the very end, John, the sort of a Stramash and the goal cleared, hits off the defender, Dane Murray, and into the net. Nothing the big man could do about it. 2-0, John, against a Braga team that was off form, hadn't won any of the last 3 league games. Come to Celtic Park and turn us over 2-0, John. Let's have a wee look at some of the players that stood out then, because as you say, we don't want to pick on any players. It was a squad performance last night, John. That was a full team last night. And Brendan's tactics, he changed it at half time, didn't he? Went to a 3-5, a 3-5-3, something like that, John. A 3-5-2, sorry, I don't know, but it looked like a 3-5-2 to me. The 3 centre halves playing and Dyson as a wing back, but I just thought, in fact, John, you got your wish there, actually, Dyson as a wing back. He did okay there, actually. But I just thought, once that first goal went in, John, that was it. I thought the players' heads went down. We tried in vain. We tried as much as we could to get back into the game. We get the goal, and then that's cut off as well, John. And after that, I think that was the game finished.
It was finished after that. Look, if that goal stood, Celtic would have went on to win that game, no doubt about it. That Braga, they looked knackered. And I think the only time they went up the park, they scored after that. I don't think they went up the park again. Celtic had them pinned in. And it was a really good second half from Celtic. I mean, the goal was a total blunder, but what can you do about that? That's big Casper flapping about like a 6'2" jump being on his line. It was... These things happen, isn't it? But if that goal's given, I think Celtic would have went on to win that game.
Yeah, okay. We've had our piece on it, John. I've said our piece. No very good at the moment. That's another game we've not scored a goal, and it's a first loss of the season. I know we got knocked out by penalties, we carried out on Matty, but the first loss in 90 minutes, John. So that's Not great news there. So we just need to hope that we improve for the remaining games in this Europa League. We now need at least one away win in the Europa League, John. But that's a way down the line, John. We'll wrap it up there. All right, well, let's do the Motherwell. In fact, I want to quickly mention the competition first, John, before we get into the Motherwell preview. Big league on your right-hand side there. Multiplayer correct score league table. 25 players in there. Get your guesses in for the correct score guess for Sunday's game against Motherwell. Obviously, nobody got it right on Thursday night. Sorry, nobody got the 2-0 win for Braga. I think the closest we got was a 0 each draw. But somebody said 0 each, but nobody got that right. So get your guesses in for the Motherwell game on Sunday. One guess each to win the fantastic multi-Celtic goodies prize. And if you're interested in joining that league table, just leave a wee comment saying that you're interested in joining the league table, because we're going to drop 3 out and add an extra 3 in because they're not being given us the correct score. Right, John, that's the competition. Let's park that there. Motherwell, John, Celtic Park on Sunday, all being well with the weather, because as I said earlier, John, there's supposed to be some sort of storm moving in Friday night. It's looking pretty wild just now. It's going right through into Saturday. Had a wee check on Sunday's weather forecast. I know that goes for nothing, but it looks okay. Just a bit damp, no high winds, anything like that, John. So we just hope the stadium doesn't get damaged with a storm, because apparently there's going to be up to 100-mile-per-hour winds. So it's our third home game in a row, John. So we had all those away games. We've done okay. We were getting results in the away games, even in Europe. Then we come to play at Celtic Park. We can't win any of our last 3, John. It was last 2, sorry, be Hibs and Braga, John. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes here, actually. Hibs and Braga was the last 2. Now the next one is Motherwell, John. So we don't want that to be 3 games in a row without a win. We want to go to Celtic Park on Sunday and get some sort of victory.
Aye, there's got to be a response after that, a big response. This isn't the Celtic we're used to seeing over the last 20 years. There's got to be a big response after this. I don't know what's going on, if these fan protest things are affecting the players, but there's no excuse last night because there wasn't any protest. And you're starting to see smaller crowds at Celtic Park. I says at the other podcast against Hibs, there was a lot of empty seats there, and we've seen it against Braga as well. Have the Celtic fans had enough?
Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it? Obviously, the fan protests were called off early on, or late on Wednesday night. The protest was called off, the 29-minute silence. But it didn't do us any good, did it, John? So there's a lot more under the surface that needs sorting out here, John, definitely. Even the manager looks shattered, doesn't he? Brendan Rodgers looks a nervous wreck, to be honest with you. But it's down to him to sort it out, John. That's what he gets paid for. Callum Scott, he's the referee for the Motherwell game with Gavin Duncan on the VAR. Motherwell, a well-organised team, John, aren't they? They're quite well organised. 6 games in the league, 5 draws. Draw experts, John, and all of their away games have been draws. So that's another thing we need to avoid.
Just need to avoid every team that come to Celtic Park getting any confidence in it, because Celtic no scoring goals has given these teams confidence. At half time we're going in 0 each. That gave Hibs confidence. Aye. Again, it's like you says, it's Motherwell. A lot of draws, half decent team, and they're going to fancy their chances. Every team right now will smell blood with Celtic. They know there's something wrong there, and they're going to fancy their chances to take something at Celtic Park. That's something we haven't seen in 20 years.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I said at the very start, John. Last night, the first half, apart from the first 10 minutes, was the worst I've seen at Celtic Park. It was dreadful. Dreadful. Anyway, John, Motherwell are the only team to take points off Hearts this season. So that shows you where they are, John. They drew with Hearts, didn't they? So, yeah, they're going to be very stubborn. They'll probably do that low block as well, John, 10 men behind the ball. But you never know, John. They might come, like the manager said, for the win, and get that get that win that they're looking for, because we, right now as it stands, we're in a pretty bad place.
It's no good. Obviously, it's no good, but look, there's time for things to improve, and it doesn't happen overnight. We need to start with one thing, and that's getting the fans back in the stadium. Make the players feel like the fans are there to see them, because the last couple of games have been very poorly attended. So we need to start with that and get the fans on the side of the team. Find some other way to protest. Never mind these silent protests. I know the Celtic fans are trying to do their best for the club, they're trying for the team, but I'm starting to see it's affecting the players on the park. But we don't know. There could be more to it than that, Xander. I really, really don't know. Nobody knows for sure what's causing this slump in performances. But I think there's more to it than the fan protests, to be honest.
Yeah. It's no very good, John. And I mean, you've got that the cameras zooming in on the Celtic board last night as well, sitting there having a wee giggle and that, well, Celtic getting beat. It just annoys you, doesn't it? So, yeah, the board need to sort this out as well. And he has to also promise funds for the manager come January, because believe you me, John, we need reinforcements in January. Whether we start winning a few games or not, we still need those reinforcements.
Definitely. I think they will come, but it's all too little too late for me. I think by the time January comes, if we keep up this current trend, we're going to be joining Rangers going down that table.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Normally we can have a wee laugh at Rangers losing in Europe, but it's that bad. You can't even have a laugh at them getting beat in Europe, although it does make the heart feel a wee bit less, because they were setting off fireworks last night as the Celtic fans were going home. I heard them from my window, the Rangers fans setting off fireworks as the Celtic supporters were leaving Celtic Park, John. So, crazy when they're still to play their game, John. Absolute craziness. And then they get turned over as well. So, that shows you where their mentality is, John. Anything, they just want Celtic losing. They don't care about their own team. They just want Celtic to lose. Anyway, enough about them. The last 3 games for each team, John, against Motherwell. Let's have a look at Celtic first. Again, as I say, no great reading. 1 each draw with Red Star Belgrade was okay, I suppose. 1 each draw with Hibs wasn't great. And then a 2-0 defeat against Braga. So, downward spiral rapidly into it, going downwards rapidly. We'll just hope the manager can sort that out, obviously. And Motherwell, John, they've been okay, actually. They drew 1 each with Dundee, and then they had a 1-0 win against Aberdeen at home. Away, in the cup. They put Aberdeen out the cup, and then they had a 2-0 win against Aberdeen again. I did say at the last podcast they played Aberdeen a few times. They played them again and got a 2-0 win at home against Aberdeen, John. So they're actually doing okay, Motherwell, with 2 wins against Aberdeen in a row.
Aye, good for them. Let's hope Celtic just change that kind of trend. Beating Aberdeen isn't any great achievement, you know what I mean? Sitting down the bottom of the table on 1 point. So that's nothing to go by. But they will fancy their chances at Celtic Park. I've no doubt about that. They'll smell a wounded animal, and I don't feel confident ahead of this one.
Yeah, there's a lack of fight that concerned me. Again, second half is better, but there's still there's a lack of something anyway, let's put it that way. Celtic just drastically a lack of something. Last 4, John, we've played them, I've beat them all 4 games, Motherwell, but again, because of the form, that goes for nothing. But anyway, that was February. Let's have a wee look. Yeah, February 24, a 3-1 win away. October 24, a 3-0 win away again for Celtic. December 2024, a 4-0 win at Celtic Park. And then this year in February, we beat them 3-1 away. So decent form against Motherwell, John. So we just hope that continues, obviously. Bookies, what the bookies think. 1-5 Celtic. Even after last night, they're still saying 1-5 Celtic. 71 the draw, and 14-1 for Motherwell win. You know, that 71 the draw is looking pretty good to me. Anyway, John, let's stick with Celtic. just now. Let's run through what could happen and what could change in this game against Motherwell. Obviously, we're looking for a better performance. That goes without saying. We're looking for maybe a change in personnel on the park, John, possibly a few changes. I'd like to see Shin Yamada come back into the frame, if you like, John. I'd like to at least see that boy on the bench because it gives us options up front, because right now, if Iheanacho isn't doing it, we've no option on the bench, John.
Johnny Kenny, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't fancy that boy, to be honest with you. I really don't. Maybe he's just not had enough game time just now. I mean, he's got some decent attributes about him. Johnny Kenny, he's quite tall and that, quite fast, but he's not getting anywhere near enough game time. I think Johnny Kenny's one of these players that he needs another loan move, possibly to a Scottish team, so we can keep an eye on him, because he's a half decent player, but what I've seen so far, I don't think he's got it to be a Celtic striker, Xander. You know what I mean? I just don't see it. He's half decent, but I just don't see him as a future Celtic striker. I don't know why that is. I just look at him and I just think, nah, he's not a Celtic striker.
Yeah, hopefully he can turn that around and gets more game time, like you say, John. But we'll wait to see as regards to Kenny. But it's big Iheanacho, John. I feel so sorry for him. He scored his 2 goals. Then he got a goal disallowed in the Hibs game, John, for narrow being offside, and then he gets a goal chopped off. So I said disallowed. Yeah, disallowed. Then he gets a goal chopped off last night, John. That could have been 4 in 4 games for big Iheanacho, and the guy's not kicked a ball in ages, so he's just trying to find his fitness. And what a finish it was last night. I know, John, we didn't really have a wee say on the finish because of everything else that was going on, but how calm and composed was that? A beautiful slid shot past their goalkeeper under that pressure, John. Absolutely top class finish, and it's disallowed. So the big man's been unlucky. I know he scored a couple of goals, but it could have been 4 in 4, John, if it wasn't for the referee, especially last night, chopping off that goal against Braga.
Aye, he looks good, and actually, I have to say, he does look good. And he chases back as well, which I like about him. And that's coming from a guy, like you says, that's hardly kicked a ball in I don't know how long, but look, the big man looks good. So far, what I've seen, he looks good. He's composed. I like him. I do like him. Very unlucky the last 2 games. Well, last night especially, he was cheated basically. But
yeah.
I felt really sorry for the big man last night. There's no need to cheat teams out of a perfectly good goal. I mean, I can't say any more than that. I felt sorry for him. He looks decent, and he was cheated last night. Big man was cheated.
Yeah, he looked gutted, didn't he? He absolutely looked gutted, so he did it that. He knew himself, he hadn't hit it with any part of his arm. And you're allowed to hit the ball with your shoulder, by the way. That's allowed now. And so even if it did hit his shoulder, it should still have stood. That's what's really annoying about it. Anyway, John, that's for another topic for another day. We'll get into the UEFA thing one day. But so will there be changes, John? Let's go through the 1 to 11. Will Sriracha start in place of Kieran? Will Ralston start in place of young Donovan? Will, the usual ones. Will Real come on from the start after his injury? All the rest of it, John. But it's down to you, buddy, to give us a prediction anyway. And you were quite close, by the way, with your prediction last night. I think the only one you got wrong was the one that we were all surprised with was Bernardo starting, John. But apart from that, I think you got it bang on. So I don't know what Brendan was thinking about starting with Bernardo when you've got Luke McCowan, who looks quite good just now, sitting on the bench. Didn't understand that. And then you've got Rio on the bench as well. Obviously, if he's fit enough to be on the bench, surely he's fit enough to start. Don't call me surely.
I think so. I think he should have started last night, Rio. But Rio's not been in great form, by the way. He's not been in, but that could be down to his injury or whatever, carrying a wee niggle. But I had Luke McCowan on the bench, and he started with Look, Paul, I'm not going to go on Paul Bernardo's case because he's a half decent player, but he's not had any game time at all. And he starts with him. So that was a strange one for me last night. Luke McCowan should have started that game last night, I think. He would have made a bit of a difference going forward. I think Luke McCowan's a cracking wee player. But anyway, let's go into the starting lineup.
Yeah, go for it, John.
For the Motherwell game, I think Sinisalo's going to start this one. He's got to start this one.
Yeah.
And he's got to remain in there after he starts this one. Use Casper as the backup keeper.
Agreed.
I think Trusty's going to start this one with Vickers.
Yeah. Good call.
I think Trusty's definitely going to start this one with Vickers. That's what I think anyway. He might even start with the big man. What's his name? The young boy?
Dane Murray.
Dane Murray. He might start with him.
Yeah.
But right now I'm going to go for Trusty and Vickers anyway. So it's going to be Sinisalo, Trusty, Vickers, Ralston on the right, and Sriracha.
Yeah, he links up well with Connected, didn't he? They actually link up quite well together. As soon as they two were on the park, that's when things started happening for Celtic last night. So yeah, I hope that's the case, John. I hope it is Sriracha and Connected on the left, because we need Kieran. He's just no fit, is he? He just doesn't fit. He just doesn't look fit. Just doesn't look fit at all, actually. That's why he's coming off after 50, maybe 60 minutes in every single game.
No, he doesn't look fit, Kieran. I'm looking at Sriracha anyway, and I think he's a better left back than Kieran Tierney.
Yeah, that's it, John. It's a lot of people will agree with you with that one, and right now as it stands, he is a better left back, but I think it's a fitness issue with Kieran Tierney. You can just tell just looking at the boy's face, he just looks uncomfortable playing football just now. So we need to stop playing him until he's 100% fit, and that was the problem when we heard that Celtic were going for Kieran Tierney. We're going to be signing a player that's going to be on the bench, and I think that's what the manager, Brendan Rodgers, is trying to avoid. Having Kieran Tierney on the bench all the time to prove that he was the right signing, John. But no, if he's not fit, get him on the bench. That's the bottom line.
Aye, I think so as well. I think Sriracha's a better left back than Kieran Tierney. Right now, I mean, Kieran Tierney, when he's at full fitness and flying, Kieran Tierney's a better left back than him. Well, I don't know right enough, because I've not seen Sriracha doing anything wrong, have you?
No. As I say, his defending's good. He links up well. Once or twice he's gave the ball away, but who doesn't he give the ball away, to be honest with you? But no, he looks good, that boy. And I actually hoping that we get him on a permanent deal, John. I know he's only on loan just now. He looks like a good Celtic player for me, John.
He's decent. I like him. Anyway, I think he'll start this one, definitely.
Yeah.
So we'll start that again. Sinisalo, Trusty, Vickers, Ralston and Sriracha at the back. And centre of the park. It's always tricky picking the centre of the park right now. It's always tricky picking any Celtic team right now, by the amount of games that Celtic are playing.
Yeah.
Centre of the park, I'm going to go with McGregor, McCowan and Engels.
Okay.
He's quality, get over it.
He's quality. But from what I saw from the Nigerian last night, there's a lack of strength there. I don't know if just because Braga players are more physical, that's the reason for that, but it wasn't a Nigerian lad. There was something wrong throughout last night. That's what I'm trying to say. Every player had their bad moments in the game, John. Every player had really bad moments in that game. As I said, especially the first half, improved in the second half, but that's why Nigerian came off, Johnson. The manager saw exactly what everybody else saw, and Nigerian not performing.
Aye, I don't think that's not the reason why I'm picking Nigerian in the team. Okay, he never had the best game last night. He never had the worst game either. There was worse on the park. But I'm just picking Engels because Nigerian started the other night. I think. Yeah, I go over it. Honestly, Xander, I'll never tire of burning that clown for saying that. Anyway, that's my centre of the park is McGregor, Luke McCowan and Arna Engels.
Yeah, that's up top.
Up top. I don't know if he maybe rest Iheanacho. Or maybe Brendan Sean. I mean, he lasted the full 90 minutes last night, didn't he, Iheanacho?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to rest anybody, John, to be honest with you, because Motherwell's the last game and then it's the international break. So I don't think there's many players going away on international duty. Is there? Iheanacho being one of them, he'll not be away. Nygan possibly. Engels possibly in under 21s. Callum McGregor, no. Rio Hatate possibly. There may be a few actually looking at the big Cameron. He's always away, isn't he? Scales, he's away. Sarachi, don't think so. Tierney, I don't think so. So sort of 50-50, isn't it, John? So I don't think there's any need to rest players anyway. I think he'll go as strong as he possibly can. But you never know. The big man's played, was that 4 games in about 10 days, something like that?
Well, look, I think there will be players rested because that's the way it's going right now. The team's being rotated. So I know you're saying there's no game after that, but there's international stuff. But I think after 2 days, I think there will be changes. 2 days rest, it's not enough time. And that's what we've been seeing recently because of all the games that we're playing is rotation of the team. So anyway, the front line's going to be Iheanacho, Dyson on the right, and Iheanacho on the left.
Yeah, that seems to be the strongest front three, isn't it? I mean, cannot believe we didn't sign a right winger. Just cannot believe it. Anyway, okay, John, that's fair enough.
Yeah, well, you've got Forrest and Yang there as right wingers, but they're not getting picked. That says it all.
Yeah, as I say, John, I can't believe it. I mean, obviously Jota's going to be coming back, a couple of months, but he's more or less a left winger as well who can play in the right. We don't want these players that are left that can play in the right or right they can play on the left. We want them stuck to the favoured position, and we don't have a Nicholas Kuhn, shall we say, John. We don't have a Nicholas Kuhn type player. I know Yang does good things now and again. Forrest, brilliant player for us over the years, but again, not the same player he was a couple of years ago. But that, don't know. Anyway, John, that's it. There's no point going on about it. We need to wait to January and see what happens in January. Right, predictor, John, let's do the predictor. For this week, is it 12-4 or something to you, John, and the predictor for you? I know we're not really bothered about that just now with everything that's going on, but we'll do the predictor anyway, John. Let's do it. And we'll start with the Celtic game against Motherwell on Sunday. Nobody's had any right in the last 2 games. No points on the board for anybody in 2 games. So we need somebody to get this right, John, whether it's you, I, or whoever in the league table. What's your prediction, buddy?
That's a hard one, isn't it? It's so tough right now. Celtic no scoring any goals. It's really tough. But I'm just going to take a pot shot and hope Celtic, angry with their performance during the week, and start hitting the net this weekend with 4 goals and a 4-0 Celtic. It's just a pot shot. Just a lucky guess, 4-0 Celtic. Yeah,
I think we're going to come out the traps. Actually, we need to. There's no option. We need to come out flying, but sometimes if it's no gelling and it's not happening, it's nothing that can be done about it, We just hope that that's not the case. We just need to hope that the manager can get the best out of the players again. And I'll say 3-1 to Celtic. 3-1, just take a wee note of them. Right, John, let's move on with the predictor then. Dundee United against Livingston on Saturday.
Don't care. I know we need to do this.
I know. Let's quickly do it then, John. A quick off the top of the head one then, right? I'll say quickly as well. I'll just guess very quickly. What are you saying, buddy? United, Livy?
2-0 United.
1 each for me. Okay, John. Kilmarnock, St Mirren.
Oh, that was a tough game the last time they met each other. St Mirren put them out in penalties, I think.
Yeah.
In the cup. I fancy St Mirren again. 2-1 St Mirren.
1 each. No, 1-0 St Mirren, John, for me. And that one. Okay, the big one, John, top of the table. Hearts against Hibs on Saturday. Quarter to 6 kick-off. That'll be a decent game, actually. But Hearts with all their injuries and players suspended and a few doubts as well in their squad. We're hoping that catches up with them, to be honest with you, because we need all the help we can get just now. But Hearts and Hibs, John, what do you think?
Oh, we don't like 5:45 kickoffs.
No, we do not.
Look, it's a derby match. A Totty Scone derby anyway, isn't it? Hearts and
Totty Scone, right enough.
I'll tell you why I call that a Totty Scone derby. Now, it's a plastic derby. Anybody that doesn't understand Totty Scone, plastic derby, dummy derby, cardboard derby, if you like.
Fake derby.
Fake. It's just nonsense, know what I mean? Because I remember watching Hearts and Hibs fans in comments over the years saying, I'd rather Hibs beat Celtic and all that, coming from Hearts fans and vice versa. Hibs fans saying, I hope Hearts beat Celtic. I mean, it's the plastic derby, utter garbage. A real derby's when you despise your opponent. Celtic hate Rangers, Rangers hate Celtic. Then you never see a Rangers fan saying, I hope Celtic win. You never see a Celtic fan saying, I hope Rangers win. But you see that with Hearts and Hibs fans. Plastic, cardboard, Totty Scone, nonsense.
Yeah.
Anyway, predictor. Look, obviously I hope Hibs win. And Celtic win over the weekend. That's what we're all hoping for. But I think Hearts traditionally stronger than Hibs in derbies. I'll go for a 2-0 Hearts win.
It's looking like a Hearts win for me, you know. But I'm going to let my heart overrule my head again, John, to be honest with you. I don't know why, but I'll say one each in that one. St Johnstone, Ayr United. John, let's get to Bruni watch. St Johnstone, Ayr United. Bruni on a high. Few good results. He's away to St Johnstone.
St Johnstone, Ayr United. I fancy St Johnstone for this one. 2-0 St Johnstone.
Perth Saints. 2-1 to Ayr for me, John. 2-1. Okay, let's move on to Lenny watch. Lenny not doing too well at all just now, but he's up against Queen's Park, who aren't great either just now. Dunfermline against Queen's Park, John. Neil Lenny against Queen's Park.
Lenny win for me. 3-1 Dunfermline.
And I'll go the 1-0 Dunfermline. Another low scoring game from me. Okay, let's move into Sunday. John, Berwick against Celtic B. Just let me quick one for that. It's Berwick against Celtic B on Sunday.
I've no idea about Berwick. I know they're the only English team that play in Scotland.
Yeah.
Go for a Berwick win. And I'll go for a draw, 2 each.
I'm going to go for the Berwick win, John. 2-1 to Berwick. Hate going against Celtic at any level. Anyway, stick with Sunday. Aberdeen against Dundee in the league. John, 3 o'clock kickoff at Pittodrie. Another home game for Aberdeen. Unlucky against Shakhtar Donetsk, I suppose. 3-2 defeat. But defeat is a defeat, nevertheless. What are you saying, John? Aberdeen against Dundee on Sunday.
Oh. Got to fancy Aberdeen to take something. They've got to get a win sometimes, Xander. I know I keep saying that and they keep dropping points. They keep getting, every time I say that, they get beat. But I'm going to go for another one. I'm going to stick with them.
Yeah.
2-1 Aberdeen.
3-0 Aberdeen, John. I'm going to go for the big one. They're back in the scoring ways, so get the first 2 goals of the season. So I think they'll beat Dundee 3-0. I think they'll be up for this one. Okay, last one, obviously, in the predictor. Falkirk against the Rangers. 3 o'clock on Sunday also, John. So all the games are kicking off at the same time on Sunday. What are you thinking there, buddy? Falkirk? They're no great, are they? Let's be perfectly honest. But they're at home against a very, very poor Rangers team who got beaten in Europe last night also. I don't know if their manager's going to be in the position come Sunday, but what are you thinking anyway, John? Falkirk against Rangers.
Rangers away games is always diddy teams, isn't it? I'm going to say, it's a tricky one, this. I'm going to say one each, Sander.
2-0 to Rangers for me, John. They'll bounce back with a win and everything will be rosy again. They'll run onto the park. They'll jump on each other's shoulders 4 high again, like they did last weekend against Livingston. So that's exactly what's going to happen again. They'll
looked
get
half
that.
Decent last night, Sander. I thought Rangers looked half decent last night. I thought that the players looked confident. They're fast. They were 2-0 down right enough. I thought, what do you call them? Who was it? They were playing last Sturmgratz. I thought, look, Butland kept them in that game because they could have been 5 or 6 down, to be honest with you. I don't know if you watched the game, but they could have been 5 or 6 down last night. But Butland kept them in it with some outstanding saves, to be honest. But I still thought their players looked fast. They've got a lot of really quick players in their team. But the downward spiral continues for them. I know they got their win at Livingston, but I think that they're going to drop points this weekend. Hopefully, anyway, 1 each.
Yeah, the worry for me with them is, if I get a prediction, I did 2-0 to Rangers. The worry for me with them is the fact the manager and they get a real manager in, John. So that's what our concern is, because this Russell Martin guy, he's going to do nothing for them, let's be honest. And we need to hope that he stays in that position for as long as possible.
Aye. I noticed the Rangers fans are copying the Celtic fans with their wee placards or their banners with the face of the people they want out the club with a red line through it.
Yeah, when do the Rangers fans no copy the Celtic fans, John? It's been happening for decades. Everything we do, they copy us, and then they claim it as their own. That's been happening for years. But no, but that's that anyway, John. There's nothing really more to say about it. It's things. I don't feel good about things just now. I just hope that things improve rapidly for Celtic, John. I really do. Starting with a win on Sunday and a wee draw with Hearts and Hibs, John, would put us back to the top of the league going into the international break, John. A wee sum up for you, buddy, before we go.
Aye. Well, you've got to hope that Hibs take something off of Hearts for that to happen. But I don't think that will happen. But just summing it up, it's got to be better. I mean, but it's clearly evident there's something amiss at Celtic right now. There's that spark up front. It's just not happening right now. We've got one shining light, well, 2 shining lights in Tenecti and Sriracha. I think they're both cracking players that can spark life into Celtic. But it's the rest of the players around about them that's no performing. But now you've got to come out the traps fast against Motherwell. You've got to start stamping your authority on the games. And aye, I can only say that. You've just got to come out the traps fast, bang in a couple of early goals and dominate the game. Can't see it happening myself right enough, but obviously that's what we want to happen. Can't say any more than that, Sander. Just come out the traps fast and hope for the best. Yeah,
hope for the best, John. That's it. We're not going to be performing poorly forever, John. It will improve, but we need it sooner. Sooner rather than later, John. All right, we'll call it a day there. No time for comments today, folks. Thank you, everybody that's left a comment, mind you. Get your comments in for the competition. 1 guess each for the correct score competition. Everybody that's entered the 25-player league for the fantastic Celtic Forever prize that we give away at the end of the season for whoever finishes top of the group. Excuse me. Right, John, thanks for coming on, buddy. We'll catch you on Monday, pal.
Catch you Monday, Xander. Hail, hail.
Hail, hail, John. Cheers for now.